Yo, what is up, guys? Tuesday, July the 13th, 2021. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in on this Tuesday. We got a lot to get into. Already see Rob Youngson, Todd Smith, Travie, Phil, Sean O'Brien. What is going on, guys? Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss here on this Tuesday, and a lot I'm excited to share with you guys as well. Again, Tuesday, July the 13th, 2021, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Of course, also, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel to be sure that your questions do get answered. But again, 843-790-3377. You can text that number, call that number, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Got a lot to get into, like I said, guys, here on a Tuesday. Before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're both young but experienced and aggressive attorneys, former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. Now, they both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time, and they both left to start their own law firm, guys, because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number, guys. They also handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents, guys. Do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, whatever it is. The last thing you need to worry about is paperwork and dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami is in Columbia. Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Again, guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. What's up, guys? 843-790-3377. My guy, John. What's up? Lance Player, Heath Hagler. Excuse me, guys. Heath says the new intro is awesome. Is that your first time seeing it today, Heath? Yeah, my guy crushed it. We've had that for the last, 2 or 3 or 4 days or so. My guy absolutely crushed it, though. I told him, you know what? We need a countdown. We need something cool to roll out to introduce the Daily Crow, get everybody fired up. He killed it. He absolutely killed it. So appreciate him doing that. But I'm glad you like it, Heath. Tanner Lamb, what's up? Elizabeth Ballard says, what's up? Love seeing our guys head to the majors. Yeah, the MLB draft. That's actually going back today again at 1 o'clock, I believe. So I'm thinking probably Julian Bosnick will get picked up today. I'm thinking Danny Lloyd might get picked up today. And which of these guys go, which of these guys come back, hey, we don't know yet. We don't know. Some guys are going to have some decisions to make, and it's going to come down to, money, signing bonus, stuff like that. But you love seeing it for our guys. I mean, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I know selfishly, we want to see guys come back and, see them put the garnet and black back on. But realistically, man, this is a moment that these guys worked their entire lives for. And, I'm happy for them. I'm really happy for them. So it will be interesting to see, though, who comes back and who decides to sign their deals and pursue their professional baseball careers. Phil says, daily weather report from New Hampshire, 66 degrees and cloudy. Yeah, pretty warm here, Phil. It's been pretty muggy, pretty warm. So, yeah, we got all the heat you need down here. Justin Langford says, rode by Williams-Brice Stadium yesterday after my wife got out of her doctor's appointment, and it looked top-notch. Yeah, bro, Willie B's looking beautiful these days, man. Can't wait till September the 4th. Cannot wait to get back in there September the 4th for sure. Dusty Rhodes, did you see Alonso go crazy in the Derby last night? Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I watched like the first 2 rounds or so. Dude, I'll tell you this, the home run Derby, it's really a battle of who has the best BP guy. Like who throws the best BP. Because, dude, Alonso's guy, I mean, was just beautiful, beautiful BP. Just putting it right in there. So, yeah, no, but Alonso's a stud, man. Alonso's a stud. I saw something actually statistically, though. He did not hit a single home run against South Carolina in college. So take that for what it's worth. Pretty cool stat. But we held him at bay. We were able to hold him at bay. So John Rice says, need Boz back. Yeah, I think Boz will come back. I think Boz, I don't know. I'd be a little surprised if if he gets drafted 13th, 14th round, whatever. I really just any time today, I'd be kind of surprised to see Boz go. I think he's a guy that could exponentially improve his draft stock. I think he could exponentially improve his draft stock. So, let's see. Lance Player, my Big Cock Club gear is on the way. Cannot wait. Yes. Hey, if you're interested in Big Cock Club merch, join the Big Cock Club. Jump in the Discord. You can find the merchandise exclusive to Big Cock Club members only. Obviously, I'm rocking the Beamer Ball hat today and the Shane Storm hat. But, of course, I got my Big Cock Club hat. My shirt just got to my place as well. By the way, quick update. We will be back in Columbia later today, back in the studio all week long for the Daily Crow and all the content and everything else. So, just to give you guys a content update, very excited to get back in studio. Of course, we're starting our NCAA Dynasty streams tonight. I will play the 2021 season on Heisman. So maybe some early condolences are needed. We play we play Eastern Illinois, aka FCS Midwest tonight. So hopefully playing on Heisman against those guys won't take too much of a toll. And I can tell you, we're going to be running the football a lot, because if you've ever played NCAA on Heisman, it is damn near impossible to pass the football. So looking forward to that, though. That'll start tonight, 8 o'clock. We're going to kick it off. Then going to do tomorrow night at 9 and Thursday night at 9 as well. Heath Hakeler says, were you surprised to see Peters go so early? No, I wasn't. Actually. Talking to a couple of different people, there were some teams that had him as their number one reliever in regards to guys they were looking at in the draft and stuff like that. Dude, Peters had a phenomenal year. I know towards the end he didn't pitch quite as well, but, dude, he had a phenomenal year. I think he showed that upside. He showed why people were really excited for him. He showed why the Gamecocks wanted him so bad when they recruited him. So, I'm not surprised at all. Pete's a really good pitcher. I think he'll most likely sign. I just think when you're looking at a guy like Pete that, coming off an injury, I don't see what he'd have to gain coming back personally. So I think he'll most likely sign. Again, guys, it's one of those things, a lot of people have asked me like, do they come back? Do they go? Here's the thing you have to understand in the game of baseball. If you come back, right, and a lot of guys have done it, and it's worked out well. It's been a huge success for them. It really does depend on each guy's individual situation. But when you come back, there's no guarantee you will get drafted again. So on one hand, like, I understand, and of course, selfishly, we're all like, oh, yeah, man, come back for another year. It'd be great, blah, blah, blah. But from the player side of things, there's no guarantee you will get drafted again. I think always to Nick Ebert. If you remember the name Nick Ebert that played baseball for South Carolina in 2009, was a basher for you, an absolute basher. I mean, I think he hit like 20-plus homers, had a crazy year, right? And he was drafted. It wasn't extremely high. I mean, this was when the draft was like 50 rounds. But he got drafted like, I could be wrong, I think it's like 20th round, something like that. Wasn't crazy high, though. But hey, he banked on himself. He's like, I'm going to come back and get drafted even higher. Well, he came back, and guess who came in? Christian Walker. And Nick Ebert ended up having a very, very pedestrian 2010, which was his senior season. He lost all of his leverage because when you're a senior, you don't have any bargaining power. When you're a junior, you have bargaining power. Hey, I can go back to school if you don't give me the money I want. Senior, you don't have that choice. They know, hey, you're going to take our deal no matter what it is. And Nick Ebert did not even get drafted. So that's the risk you take. So when people are talking about, oh, man, Wes Clark should just come back and what, should he, though? I don't see Wes Clark. If Wes Clark were to come back, in my opinion, there's no way he has a better year next year. And that's not a knock on Wes Clark. It's just a testament to the incredible year he had this year in his money year in his junior season. So Phil chiming in on the TDC questions Discord channel. Again, like I said, guys, this will be a very useful tool once we get in season and we have so many questions coming in that I can't even answer them all. So if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, go over to their TDC questions channel. Phil says, are you surprised that Wes went in round 10? I think it was. Yeah, 10th round. That was a little later than I expected. I thought Wes would be like a 5th or 6th rounder. I'm not totally shocked, and here's why. The kid has undeniable power. We all know that. But he doesn't have a position right now. Is he going to play first? Is he going to play third? You can't really get drafted as just a pure DH. That's really not a thing anymore. So finding a position is priority number one for Wes Clark. I don't think he'll be a catcher at the next level. I don't think he's got quite the arm to be a catcher at the next level. So, yeah, I think that's why you saw him go a little bit later than we expected. Burton Campbell, your thoughts on this article? Some coaches said Will Muschamp overlooked talent in South Carolina. What are your thoughts? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not subscribed to The Athletic, so I have not read that article. But, dude, I don't think getting in talent was ever the problem. I think it was the developing of said talent that you got on campus. Would we not all agree with that? I think it was the developing of the talent that you got on campus. So I think that was the much, much bigger issue when Will Muschamp was the head coach. Preston, love listening. Preston says, love, I can't talk today. Love listening to your show, listening every day while working. Semper Fi. Preston, appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Trad says, do you think it's completely unrealistic to think Carolina can go 5-1 in the first 6 games? Is it unrealistic to think we could go 5-1 in the first 6? I mean, I guess anything's possible. I think it's very, very optimistic. I think it's extremely optimistic. Listen, I know we're in the honeymoon phase. We're all excited right now because what Coach Beamer's building and doing, that's great. That's great that we have that sense of optimism right now. But realistically, we're talking about a program that's won 6 combined games the last 2 years. I even look back at, the predictions I dropped yesterday, and I feel good about them. I think 4-2 is very realistic. But even I look back and I'm like, man, like, am I jumping the gun a little bit? Am I being a little bit over optimistic? Am I putting too much on this football team early? Because this team has real issues. This team has real problems. There are real concerns on this football team. So, you got to beat ECU. You absolutely have to beat ECU. If you do that, I think certainly 4-2 is very much in play, right? I mean, 3 wins, you should have 3 wins at minimum in your first 5 games. Eastern Illinois, ECU, and Troy. At minimum, you should have those 3. Then all you got to do is win one of the 2 swing games that are Kentucky and Tennessee. I know people love to talk about Georgia and the upset. Folks, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Let's go out there and play a competitive game, give Georgia hell for 4 quarters, and that'll show positive progress in my mind. But let's throw out the window of the upset of Georgia. You're probably going to be a 24.5 point underdog just like you were in 2019. And I know you beat them in 2019, but you cannot bank on an upset like that. But if you can just win one of the 2 swing games, that's Kentucky and Tennessee, there's your 4-2 right there. But that's why I listed, guys, ECU is my most important game of the 2021 season. You have to win that one. And I know, again, some people scoff at that and say, oh, Chris, come on, it's just ECU. And I've got them listed as a win. Don't get me wrong. My wins, toss-ups, and losses, I have them as a win, but it's just one you better not take lightly. And if you lose that one, all bets for your season are off. I mean, this might be a 4-win team. So you better make sure you take care of business in that one. Savannah Webster, Keenan Nelson, crystal balls to us now. Anyone know what time he's announcing tomorrow? Is he doing a live? I did see that. I don't know what time, but I would say that bodes pretty well. For us. So Justin Langford, Wes has to hit the sliders. Yeah, Justin, we understand that. We understand what his deficiencies were at South Carolina, and, they're going to work with him on that, but I don't see any way he comes back. None at all. So Brian Dean, it seems like all the rumors are Keenan Nelson for tomorrow, but we will see. Scott Lawson, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the scoop on the latest welcome home. I do not know who it is. I don't know. I've texted my people. I don't know. So Keenan Nelson seems to be the hot rumor with the crystal balls dropping, or is it Jamon Osmond? Who knows? But it's a really good football player, and that's all that matters. That's what I'm excited about. It is a really good football player. Justin Langford says your interview with Phil Steele was great. I appreciate that, Justin. Thank you. Elizabeth Ballard also says yesterday's interview was really good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I highly suggest if you have not tuned into it. Of course, Phil Steele does a fantastic job with his yearly magazine. And I appreciate Phil taking the time. A friend of the show obviously had him on last year for the first time ever, and he decided to come back on again. Was great to have him on, and appreciate Phil doing that. Let's see. Phil says in the TDC Questions channel in the Big Cock Club Discord, he says, what time is Dynasty tonight? 8 o'clock, Phil. 8 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock tomorrow and Thursday. I'm going to do it earlier than 9 o'clock, but tomorrow night we're live from Tin Roof 5 to 7, And then Thursday night, I'm actually heading out to Villa Tronco. So, with that stuff going on, with those events going on, obviously doing it at 8 o'clock or, God forbid, 7 o'clock was just unrealistic. So we're going to do it tonight at 8, but tomorrow and Thursday we'll go live at 9 o'clock. That's why we're going to play one game in those, I believe. So tonight we're going to take on Eastern Illinois, a.k.a. FCS Midwest. Tomorrow will be East Carolina at their place. And then Thursday we will take on Georgia at their place. So again, like I told you guys, shout out to the guys over at SG1 Sports, College Football Revamp. We are actually playing. I know before we did like a dynasty mode thing, we're actually playing the 2021 season on dynasty mode. Like the schedule's actually set up exactly like it is in real life. So what we're going to do the next 4 weeks, I'm going to play the season on Heisman. Then after that 4-week stretch, when we get into August, we are going to simulate the season. So there's going to be a ton of NCAA content from now until kickoff. I'm very excited for that content. Some of the most fun content I make, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. Rob Youngson, but what if they do come out and set the East on fire? They have talent. If the players are set on playing for each other, I think it is very, very doable. I just think, Rob, again, there are holes on this football team. Yes, there's talent on this football team, but depth's still an issue. Wide receiver is still an issue. DB is still an issue. Hey, quarterback's a huge question mark. We are assuming everything works out to the positive. And that's what I want to happen too, man. Like I said, I picked 4-2 in the first 6. I don't know how anyone could argue with me or say that's a bad pick or say that. I mean, I think if anything, I'm looking at it glass half full. You know what I mean? So I just feel like as long as you take care of East Carolina, you're going to beat EIU. You definitely should beat Troy at home. There's 3 wins right there in the first 6 games, right? Then you have Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee. Georgia, throw that out the window. It's a long shot. Just win one of the 2 swing games. That's Kentucky and Tennessee. Boom, there's your 4-2. And then guess what, guys? I haven't mentioned it yet. Of course, we're going to talk about it on Thursday. But the next game is Vanderbilt. And, not to spoil a surprise, I guess, but I'm picking Carolina to beat Vandy. So, guys, I mean, you could not draw up a better start than 5-2 in Shane Beamer's first year. But again, I keep reminding myself, and I will keep reminding you all, this is a program that has won 6 games the last 2 years. It won 2 games a season ago. Let's just try. Let's try to keep the expectations realistic in year one. Let's try to do that. I know it's easy to get, I mean, maybe I'm doing it a little bit. I know it's easy to get carried away and let preseason momentum sort of sway our thoughts and our predictions and stuff like that. But this is still a football team with a lot of question marks. Yes, there's talent. And of course, that's one of the most intriguing storylines of this football season in my mind is like, we talk about just how much talent is there? That's my question. Just how much talent is there on this football team? Because we've seen the recruiting classes, and we talk about guys like, in the receiver room, on the defensive line, and in the secondary, guys that we feel like have not been developed. We're going to learn a lot about a lot of guys this year. Hey, was it just lack of development, or are these guys just not who we thought they were on the recruiting trail? But, I just like to keep in perspective. First-year head coach who's never been a head coach, 2 coordinators who have never called a play at the Power 5 level, a brand new staff, a brand new system, a brand new scheme. Hey, I've got the 4-2 start. I don't know, again, how anyone could argue that would be, dude, 4-2 and then 5-2 beating Vandy. That would be a dream start for South Carolina. A dream start. Dude, if we're 5-2, Columbia is going to be shaking at that point. Like, would you not agree? It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. Todd Smith, mom is doing well. Mom is doing very well, just in the cast, chilling, hanging out, but she is doing well. I appreciate you asking. Elizabeth Ballard, appreciate you tuning in to the live Instagram. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Dusty Rose, any new status on Delp? No, nothing new. He's got he's going to Clemson's cookout, I think, July 27th, and our cookout, I think, July 31st. I don't expect him to announce anything until like mid to late August. So, nah, we won't hear anything on Delp anytime soon. Thomas Walker, in year one, it is way better to exceed realistic expectations than to fall short of way too high expectations. Coming away with 6 wins sounds a lot better when you expect 4 or 5, not so great when you expect 7 or 8. Let's put the focus on execution in said games rather than win-losses in year one. Yeah, again, this is how I think people should look at the season. The record is secondary. I want to see a well-coached football team. I want to see that culture and that new mindset begin to be instilled in this football team. And I say record is secondary, but, getting to 6 wins, getting to a bowl game is a fantastic year one for Shane Beamer. It's a fantastic year one, bottom line. That is hitting your goal in year one. Bottom line. I think people really need to give credit to the fact that Shane Beamer came into a mess of a situation. Just a flat-out mess. So you get to 6 wins, you go to a bowl game, that's a great year. That's a great year. Anything beyond 6 is gravy. If South Carolina wins, some of you have said 8-4. If South Carolina wins 8 games, Shane Beamer should be National Coach of the Year. I'm not even joking. I'm not over-exaggerating. That's a fact. He should be National Coach of the Year. Elizabeth Ballard, we should beat Vandy. Yeah, there's no question we should beat Vandy. At home, too. Yeah. Gavin says, I agree on the importance of the ECU game. The result will set the trajectory for the season outcome. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I just, I know it's only week 2, and I hate to, say that, oh, my God, if you don't win week 2, the season's over, blah, blah, all your goals and expectations are gone. But if you don't win in week 2, I don't see a path to 6 wins. I just don't see how you get there. I really don't. I don't see how you get there. And I know many of people have said, and even when I went on the Sports Objective, which is a great ECU show, by the way, I went on there last week, when they were talking about, well, if you lose to ECU early, I think South Carolina is going to get better and better and better each week. And I agree with that. Perry Orth and I talked about that this is going to be a football team I think we expect. It's going to be a much better football team in week 10 than it is in week 1, right? But here's the problem. The schedule gets tougher as you go. So you're going to be a lot better of a football team, we think and we hope and we feel. You're going to be a lot better of a football team when you take on Texas A&M than you were when you took on Eastern Illinois. But the problem is now you're taking on Texas A&M. It's not really going to show. You're not really going to see it, right? So you need to stack up those wins early. Like if you can stack up wins early, you need to do so. You got to take advantage of the front half of the schedule. Sean O'Brien, last time we were ranked was after the Coastal home opener in 2018, correct? It would be great to see that this year, but we want to see development and a positive culture more than anything. Yeah, Sean, if I had to guess, I don't think South Carolina is going to be ranked at any point this year. I just think even if you start 5-2, maybe if you start 5-2, but I don't think you'll have think about it. If you're even if you're 5-2, you won't have beaten a ranked opponent to that point yet. So I don't see any way, especially with South Carolina, where they're going to be starting. When the Gamecocks and the preseason guys, let's face it, they're ranked like 60th, 65th. You know what I mean? So, and that plays, of course, a lot into it. We all know the top 25 is basically meaningless, but I don't see the Gamecocks being ranked this season. I don't, which is not a big deal. Like that really doesn't matter. Like that's not the goal of this season. That's not the goal of this season. Let's see. Savannah Webster, if we beat the brakes off Eastern Illinois, we might get ranked. Negative a billion% chance of that happening. But I like your optimism for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, it's a good way to do this. Boom. All right, guys. Like I said, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, you want to leave your questions in the TDC questions channel, you can do that. If not, you can call, text 843-790-3377, guys. Really quick update. Really excited. Tomorrow night, the first edition, we will go live from Tin Roof, 5 to 7. Now, I was able to talk to my guy, Corey Sprigner, the GM of Tin Roof. Shout out to Corey, man, for setting this all up and getting us out there and giving me the opportunity. I truly do appreciate it from him, and I appreciate you guys' love and support, man. Without you, none of this would be possible. Was chatting with him this morning. Really excited. We're kind of getting an idea of what we want the show to be like. And some of you asked, Chris, is it basically going to be like the Daily Crow again? Yes and no. It's obviously going to be different, but I still want to incorporate the Q&A side of things. I like the interactive banter type of content where it's very engaging and you guys are a part of it. So we will be streaming it live for those that cannot be in person at Tin Roof. And of course, that's in the Vista off Senate Street, downtown Columbia. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about and where I'm talking about. But, we're obviously going to have our people inside of Tin Roof. They're going to be asking questions. They're going to be texting the text line. They're going to be writing down questions, all that good stuff. Of course, I'm going to be doing my thing, rambling, but I like the Q&A side of it. So we're going to be live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, just like we are now. And you guys will have the opportunity to leave questions, comments. You can text in. You can call in. think of it as a Carolina Calls, but on steroids. That's really the way I look at it. Every now and then, we're going to have guests stop by as well for 20 to 30 minutes, segments, if you will, and get their thoughts and everything else. So it's going to be a very fun, casual, laid-back thing. I'm really excited again after talking to Corey. We're going to have everything set up. Going tomorrow, starting tomorrow night. If you're around the city, man, come on out to Tin Roof. Going to be a really good time because, again, like I said, we're definitely going to be streaming it, but getting there in person, being in the venue, also not this week. I think starting next week, though, if not next week, definitely the following week, I'm going to have stuff like stickers, koozies, business cards, things to give away. Heck, we might even start doing like raffles or something at this live show. I'd love to like give away some Beamer Ball hats or give away some merch or whatever it may be. So definitely come on out if you're around the city, but we're going to be streaming it 5 to 7. 5 to 7 be streaming. I just thought, you know what? It's a great way to give it even more exposure to the venue, bring even more eyes and earballs to, the live that we're doing. So like I said, is it going to be exactly like the Daily Crow? No, but it is going to be similar. It is going to be similar. And I will tell you this, for that, probably the best way to get your questions answered for that will be to text. To text that number 843-790-3377 or call in, obviously, or if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, definitely leaving your questions in the TDC questions channel. I will be looking at, of course, the stream and everything else in the comments, but also we're going to be taking comments from people who are in person at the venue too. So really excited for that, man. Something really cool. Excited to get out in the community. Let's jump to the phone lines really quickly. Hey, yo, Ben, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, hanging in there, Chris. How about you, man?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Oh, ain't a whole lot. I see you talking about the win-loss record. I figure I'll throw out there. I think Carolina's looking at a 7-win season this year. And reason being is the last several years of Carolina, there's a lot of guys on that roster that have seen not one, not two, but 3 different offensive coordinators. And, Muschamp, from the time he was brought in, really has been on somewhat of a hot seat. So there has not been a whole lot of stability in the program. But the biggest thing I've noticed is this year with Doty coming back for the years, we have a true dual threat quarterback, which opens up the run game with read option where you got a triple-headed monster in the backfield of those guys, play action pass. The offense is going to be a lot more balanced this year than I think we've seen in years.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I'm going to start talking. We're going to break down starting next week, like offense, defense, special team. That's kind of why I left those storylines out of the prediction shows, whatever that, obviously aired Monday and will air Thursday. But I agree with you. I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think that having a dual threat quarterback, I know Luke Doty's an experience. There's a lot of questions. And I think for South Carolina, especially like you said, to get to 7 wins, but for them to get to a bowl game, the thing to me, and everybody said this, but the thing to me that has to work is Luke Doty. Like, he's got to be the guy. And I'm not saying he's got to throw for 5,000 yards or do anything crazy. He doesn't have to be Connor Shaw. But as far as managing the offense, making plays with his legs, when he throws, being accurate, don't turn the football over, just don't play us out of ball games. If he can do that, I think we can certainly get to a bowl game. But I think people may have noticed the trend in the first 6 games that I picked, and they're going to notice it the rest of the way. I think our offense is going to be much improved. I really do. And I think if for no other reason, it's simply going to be finally, like you mentioned, man, having that dynamic factor at quarterback, having a guy that can beat you in multiple ways, and especially when you factor in the run game, and now you've got Kevin Harris, Marshawn Lloyd, 4 of 5 starters and on the offensive line returning, and an athletic quarterback. I mean, dude, they were talking about last year was the fastest guy on the team, runs a 4.4. So I would like to think, and I think so, that Marcus Satterfield and Shane Beamer are going to scheme that up and use that. And, like I said, pass when you have to, but I expect it to be a 70-30, run to pass type of team. You got to play to your strengths, and I think they'll do that. But I do think the offense will be much improved. And I think, again, having a dynamic quarterback, having a dual threat guy that can beat you multiple ways and can keep a defense honest, I think that'll be the biggest difference, man. I really do. I mean, we haven't seen that, like you said, in quite some time, and it's just a complete game changer for the offense, man. It's going to especially help an offense like South Carolina where, you do have some deficiencies in some places and you have some question marks to answer, but when you have an athlete at quarterback, man, it just gives you a chance, and I think it'll do that for South Carolina this year. So, yeah, no, listen, I think 7 wins is certainly on the table. I think that would be a hell of a first year, no question. And, I talked about it a little bit yesterday on social media, but if you're going to get to 7 wins, you got to win those swing games, man. You got to beat the Kentuckys. You got to beat the Missouris. You got to beat the Tennessees. You maybe got to beat the Auburns. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to win those games. Those swing games will be the difference. And, of course, don't lose any you're not supposed to, right? I mean, that's a given. Goes without saying. But, 7 wins is – I mean, it's in play. And, I mean, I would be elated. I'd be elated with 7 wins in Beamer's first year. No question.
Oh, yeah, man. Because, I mean, the biggest reason I think Luke Doty will be a success, and I think it puts a lot of silence to the quarterback controversy in Carolina with the spring game, is if you go back and you actually look at the film and watch it, Jason Brown might have had a little bit better arm to a degree, but also the thing was you got to have a balanced offense to win in SEC football. When Brown was in there, you notice the rushing game was shut down. And you look at the reason why is he's not a dual threat quarterback like Doty.
Right.
When Doty was in there, you watch the defensive ends, they're not pursuing upfield going after the running back. The linebackers are not pursuing trying to fill in the gaps right on the interior. They're all being stationary. They have to watch what the dual threat quarterback's doing before they can make a move. At that point, I mean, by the time you figure it out, the tailback's already 2-3 yards off the upfield.
Yeah, and especially when you think of this team, man, and like I said, I mean, you have to go into this season feeling like, okay, the wide receiver position's a weakness. I mean, I know we love to project and say maybe this guy can break out and this guy, but like right now, the wide receiver position, it's a deficiency. There's just no other way to put it. So when you look at this offense, like I said, and the strengths and the weaknesses and what you're going to play to, I am willing to sacrifice, which I've said this before, I'll say it again, I think one of the worst narratives surrounding Gamecocks football right now is that Luke Doty can't throw the ball. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying he's Peyton Manning but to say he just can't throw the ball, I think is just such a BS blanket statement. You go back and watch the spring game, and he made some good throws. But, even if Jason Brown is the more polished passer or the better passer, I'm willing to give up some, passing skill, if you will, for the guy, like you mentioned, that is a dual threat because it fits what you are going to do offensively. You're not going to be throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times a game anyway. And if you are, you're going to lose. Bottom line. I mean, I've said this before. I'll say it again. I would be willing to bet you right now in games that South Carolina throws the football 30 times or more, they lose every one of them. You're going to have to run the ball to win with this team. You know what I mean? So if you can get in games where you're running the ball, 50, 60 times a game, and Luke Doty's throwing maybe 22, 23, 25 passes at most, I think that's a recipe for success. I think that's where you want to be, ideally. And of course, every coach is going to say, we want to rush for 250 and throw for 250. But realistically, with what you have and the personnel, and I think we all believe and what we're excited about is Shane Beamer and Marcus Satterfield are gonna play to their strengths. They're not going to try to fit a square peg in a round hole. We felt like the past couple of years, we've had some guys that are very skilled and very talented. Dak Joyner's one that comes to mind, but they never put him in positions to be successful. I think we actually have a coaching staff. They're not going to do that. They're going to be, hey, we have a system we want to run, sure, but let's not get so caught up in our system. Let's just play to what our strengths are. Like, it's no brainer, bro, when you think about this offense. 4 or 5 starters on the O-line back, Marshawn Lloyd and Kevin Harris. I mean, there's no secret what we should be doing. You know what I mean? Like, let's not overthink this thing. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel. I'm not saying don't be, creative and scheme up and everything, but like, there's no reason Kevin Harris should not be toting the rock at least 20 times a game, at minimum, and probably Lloyd 15 at least. You know what I mean? There's just no reason they shouldn't. And then you got Quan White and the rest of those guys back there. But, I mean, I like Doty, and I think, going back to that conversation, when it first happened, when Shane Beamer named Luke Doty the starter after the spring game, I was a little surprised because I was like, you know what? I really thought he'd let that battle, if you will, go into the fall. But now looking back, I think it was the smartest thing Shane Beamer could have done because you know what? If you're Shane Beamer, you're like, let me just eliminate one of the storylines that people could be running with this preseason. Like, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Like, I don't need people like Chris and other media people and other people just on social media, have this raging quarterback battle going all preseason long. Let's just completely take that off the table. So I know there's some people probably still out there that think, oh, Jason Brown, maybe he'll win the job. I'm telling you right now, Luke Doty's QB1. He is.
That's exactly
So
right.
he would not have named him QB1 after the spring game if he did not feel 110% that he was the guy. So, and again,
right.
I think if you really sit down and think of it critically, yes, again, Jason Brown, like you mentioned, he threw some nice balls. Don't get me wrong. Number one, not to take anything away from Jason. Dude, I've met Jason. He's a great dude, great kid. I'm glad he's a Gamecock. But Luke Doty could have made those throws, man. Come on. We're talking about a 6'7" guy was matched up against a 5'9" DB. I think every quarterback on our roster would have made that throw. You probably would have made that throw. And then you look at our offense and just, again, what our strengths and weaknesses are. I think it's very easy to see the guy that best fits that, and I'd say that's Luke Doty. But I do think we're going to be improved exponentially on offense this year. I really do. I think that's going to surprise some people.
That's right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much. All right, take care, brother. Great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. I feel like I just recorded the podcast right there talking about the offense. But, no, seriously, man. No, great stuff. I do think the offense is going to be improved. For sure. Let's see. Nick Renfro, what games do you want to win the most? I want to beat the brakes off of Auburn. I bet Beamer's got that game circled. I mean, I certainly want to beat Auburn. I mean, there's no question. The game I want to win the most, I mean, dude, as crazy as it sounds, I want to beat East Carolina. And it's not like because again, if you get past East Carolina, we're 2-0. Hey, guess what? All of our goals are in front of us. Everything we want to achieve is still in play. You lose to ECU and it's like, shit. Like, wow. Now we're behind the 8 ball. So that's the one I want to win, man, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously Clemson, obviously Auburn, obviously Georgia, but, like, beat ECU, bro. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe we go out there and we smoke them by 35, and I sound like a complete idiot for even being 1% concerned about them. But beat ECU, bro. Take care of your business. Just bottom line. Just do it. Jaden Harris, what do you think about multiple Gamecocks going to the same team? I think it's great. I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know if that's really how they draft guys, but, I think it's really cool. Let's see. Bad Brad says, saw your media days prediction for what guys might join Shane. Any idea on when those names will actually be announced? Well, Ed Orgeron announced his today, and he speaks right before Shane Beamer. So I'd imagine it's going to be within the next – it could be any time. Probably in the next couple of days. So let's see. Jump back to your questions here. Again, guys, I want to say thank you to all those who have joined the Big Cock Club. We actually just released some brand new Big Cock Club merch this morning, the brand new Big Cock Club flag. So if you're interested in that, join the Big Cock Club. It's on Patreon. I'll probably start reposting the links and stuff this week yet again. But again, thank you all so much who have already joined that. The Discord has been a blast. And we got a lot more coming too, man. Like I said, we've done some nice things already early on. But I got a lot more I want to do with it, a lot more content I want to put out there. So, yeah, for sure, guys. You guys join the Big Cock Club. For those who've already done so, thank you all so much. Content rolling, man. Content rolling. Like I said, we've got Tin Roof tomorrow night, 5 to 7. We've got the Dynasty stream starting tonight. We've got Villa Tronco on Thursday. We've got our event it's not really my event, but the event at Steel Hands on Saturday. Perry Orth and Steven Garcia will be out there, and we're actually sponsoring the event. A lot of exciting stuff going on, man. A lot of exciting stuff. And I appreciate you guys loving sport along the way and rocking with us, man. It's incredible right now. Let's see. Lance Player says, EJ the Tree Jenkins is going to be a problem this season. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I think at worst, he is going to be one hell of a red zone threat for us. At worst. So, at absolute worst, he will be a hell of a red zone threat. Let's see. Todd Smith, the game I want us to win the most is Kentucky. And I definitely understand that. That was nearly my key game, guys. I will reiterate. I'll tell you why it wasn't. As badly as I want us to beat Kentucky, because that game's important. That game's really, really important for early on in the Shane Beamer era. But as badly as I want us to beat Kentucky, right? Getting to 6 wins and getting to a bowl game, that is the goal, right? That's what we want to achieve. That's the goal that is set out. Get to 6 wins. Get to 6 wins in Shane Beamer's first year. You can lose to Kentucky and still get to 6 wins. I know it'll sting. I know that'll hurt. But you can get to 6 wins even if you lose to Kentucky. But you cannot lose to East Carolina and get to 6. I just don't see it. You cannot lose to ECU and get to 6 wins. So as badly as I want to beat Kentucky, and as important as that game is, it's the second biggest game of the year. No question. If ECU's not the key game, it's Kentucky. I absolutely, 110%. And hey, Phil Steele, for those of you talking about the interview and you guys tune into that conversation, he talked about it. ECU and Kentucky. Those are the big swing games for South Carolina. Bottom line, I'm actually posting a clip a little bit later today where he talked about that in great detail. Right? So, both those games are extremely important. Those are two, and I listed ECU as a win, but I think it's going to be a very close game. Like, I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game, very competitive game. I think ECU is going to throw everything they can at South Carolina. I think it's one South Carolina fans should expect to win. I'll be very intrigued, though, to see what the Vegas line is in that one. I think it'll be like a touchdown, honestly. I think it'll be a very close spread, to be totally honest with you. So, should be a good one. Should be a good one. Definitely looking forward to it. Let's see. We have to get back to beating Kentucky. I agree with you, Keith. I agree with you 110%. No doubt. No doubt we have to. Let's see. Rob Youngston says, I want to smack Florida. That'll help a lot for recruiting in the East. We have been going at it in recruiting with Florida recently. Yeah, I mean, beating Florida would be great. It's one of those, like I said, I did list it as a toss-up. I think it's at the very tail end of the toss-ups. You guys will know my pick for it on Thursday. But, yeah, great opportunity, man. Florida lost. I still look at Florida, though. Florida's Florida, man. People are talking about, they lost a lot and this, that, and whatever. They're still Florida. They've recruited very well. They've got a lot of talent. I mean, Emory Jones could turn out to be a really, really good quarterback. So I don't, I'm not looking at like, Florida's going to suck this year. I don't think that's the case. I mean, Florida's going to have a down year and go 9-3 probably. So, Savannah Webster, I picked Tennessee or Florida for a game I want to win. John Kruger says, I can't wait for a normal college football season with 100% capacity in stadiums, et cetera. Hey, me too, man. If nothing else, win, lose, or draw, no matter the record, thank God for the return of 100% capacity stadiums and tailgating, dude. Tailgating. Thank God for tailgating being back. Thank goodness. Text in. If Garcia ends up the starter at ECU, we know what happened the last time him and Doty matched up in high school. Are you talking about at quarterback? I think it'll be Holton Ahlers. But yeah, they do have a little bit of quarterback competition, if you will. Heath Hagler, us losing to ECU and beating UK would be a real Gamecock thing to do. Well, Heath, let me twist that on you a little bit, though. Heath, do you realize we will probably be an underdog to Kentucky? Do you realize that? We will not be expected to win that game. That's just a fact. That's the reality. We will not be expected to win that game. Tanner Land says, I want to bust everybody in the mouth. Hell yeah, Tanner. I agree with you. I agree with you. Todd Smith, and don't forget they're selling beer. Yes, they will be selling beer this year. Scott Lawson, what do you think about the Thunder and Lightning nickname for Harrison Lloyd? Be cool to hear what other ideas people have. Well, Kevin Harris has already nicknamed the Bus. I think the best nicknames, Scott, they just come about organically. So I say let's let the first couple of games play out and see how things are going. Then we'll start handing out nicknames. But, I mean, of course, Thunder and Lightning's a really popular one. But, with Kevin Harris being called the Bus, I wonder if something might evolve and come about for Marshawn Lloyd. We'll see. Here's a little funny tidbit for you guys. Something just yesterday, which, you know what? I love the passion of, our followers and fans and you guys and everyone, on social media, especially everybody in the comments. I love it. But on Instagram, I had a kid that got really upset with me. Really upset that I only picked the Gamecocks to win 41-7. Really upset for whatever reason. He said that, you know what? EIU's an FCS school. They're terrible. If we only win 41-7, we're the worst team in the SEC. We're going to score 70 that first week. I would put $100 on it right now. We don't score 70 points week one. And that's not like taking away. I don't think it's going to be a situation where we couldn't score 70. But dude, come on. You can't go into week one expecting us to score 70 points. 70? I think we're going to run the ball, which will shorten the game up. I mean, somewhere between 40 and 50, I think we score. And I put 41-7. Maybe I went a little conservative with the pick. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. I mean, are you expecting Carolina to score like 100 points week one? I'm not. Personally, I'm not. And also, why would you like open up the playbook like that to show ECU and Georgia and whatever? I mean, I think it should be a very bland, vanilla game plan. Like, I think it should be a very much just, hey, we're going to run the football. We'll pass when the matchup calls for it, but don't reinvent the wheel, like I said earlier. Keith, is Lloyd faster than Harris? Yes. Marshawn Lloyd is faster than Kevin Harris, yes. And again, I'd love to see us score 50, 60. I'd love to see it. I guess, was like, you know what? First game of the Beamer era, brand new system, brand new everything. I'm going to try to go a little conservative, but I mean, who would be upset with a 34-point win? Like, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be absolutely ecstatic. So, I don't know. Sean O'Brien, I think week one is good for us as it will hopefully be a confidence builder for us to take on ECU the following week. Agree. Yeah, agree. 110%, man. Like I said before, I don't think you're really going to learn anything about your favorite team. I don't think you're going to learn anything about the Gamecocks in week one, but it definitely is a game where South Carolina can start to build some confidence, start to build some continuity, especially offensively, and, just keep the positive vibes and positive momentum going into that pivotal week two matchup at ECU. So, Cody Gaskins, I really want to see how the coaches do with halftime adjustments. Yeah, that's a big part of the game. I don't know that you'll see that week one, man. I don't think you will, but never know. Elizabeth Ballard, what is your pick for who should go to SEC Media Days? I wrote that article this morning, and I think Kevin Harris, Nick Muse, J.J. Ngbari would be a good 3 to send. Parker White's kind of the other random one that I think would actually be really funny and would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd say those 3 guys I think would make the most sense. So, He says we'll be experimenting too much to score 70. Like I said, I think we'll be running the football, man, which is going to shorten the game. I mean, it is certain. I'll put it to you this way. I do think it's going to be a name your score type of game for South Carolina. I do think it's going to be a name your score type of game. But I don't know, man. I'm not going to go out there and predict South Carolina to, put 60 or 70 on the board, right? So, I don't know. That's just me. Hopefully they prove me wrong and they put up a 50 burger. That'd be fun. Speaking of 50 burgers, guys, Dynasty Stream tonight gets going. We are playing the 2021 season. Heisman. Hey, if you want to support the business, support the content, support everything we do, you're on YouTube, Super Chat, Super Stickers. You have that ability. You have those capabilities if you want to do that. I appreciate it. Jaden Harris, yes. Dynasty time, yes. And this is going to be much better than the last Dynasty. Pray to God the Muschamp Packers leave us alone. But, yeah, playing the 2021 season on Heisman. The actual we actually have the 2021 season set up in Dynasty, by the way, like game by game by game. It's not some like random, weird, whatever. So yeah, very excited for that. Cody Gaskins' main focus is go up big quick, then rest the starters to avoid injuries. Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see that's going to be an empty the bench kind of game. Why would you not play everyone? This is the one game this year where you really feel like you can do that and feel comfortable doing so. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the kid was getting on me on Instagram like, man, you must think we're going to suck. Like, I'm like, dude, like, what? No. You'd be mad if we won by 5 touchdowns in week 1? I mean, what are you expecting? Like, good Lord. So, who knows? Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Got about 10 minutes left. Like I said, guys, we'll be back in studio this afternoon and for the rest of the week. So very excited to be back in studio, chatting with you guys, hanging out. I miss the ring light. We need the good lighting here. I miss the studio vibes. But yeah, we'll be back in there tonight, obviously, for our Dynasty streams, which will get going tonight. And very excited. And like I said, I know before the Dynasty was very random and we were kind of just doing it whenever. You guys can now know we are going to be doing it the next 4 weeks, playing 3 games a week the next 4 weeks. We might have some we even add a game. We might play 4 games in a week. Who knows? But the next 4 weeks, we're going to knock out this Dynasty. I'm going to play the 2021 season in its entirety on Heisman. So going to be a lot of fun. Liam Deacon says, Keenan Nelson, the new commit, you think? We got crystal balls from this morning. It seems to be heading that way. That seems to be where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot of smoke around Keenan Nelson. So would not be surprised at all if it is him. Tell you what, we are stacking up on the defensive backs. I know it's a position of need, but we are stacking up on some DBs. Love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. So, again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. Appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you all tuning in. Let's see. Keith says, I sure hope these guys can coach and develop players the way they recruit. Yeah, and that's the name of the game, man. Hey, like Shane Weaver said, you got to be able to do both. Got to be able to recruit and develop. Also, guys, as we sit here on this July 13th, it'll probably be a month almost to the date. I am eyeballing a start of either August the 9th or August the 16th. Those are both Mondays. Either Monday, August the 9th or Monday, August the 16th. That we will begin our 2-hour Daily Crows. The Daily Crow will go from 12 to 1 to now 12 to 2. Guys, again, it's going to be content overload. I mean, think about Wednesdays. Think about Wednesdays. At some point, this is what Wednesdays are going to look like for you guys. Podcast, 2-hour Daily Crow, and 2-hour live show at Tin Roof. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy content because it's going to be like my voice might get sore at some. I don't know. But no, I'm thinking either the 9th or the 16th. We will start those 2-hour. I would start at the 2nd, but I'm actually going out of town that week for my brother's graduation from basic training up in Fort Leatherwood, Missouri. So can't do it that week, but either the 9th or the 16th, we will start that 2-hour long Daily Crows. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Going to be very exciting. Going to be a lot of fun. Tons of questions, comments, calls. Obviously, very interactive. Exactly what we do now, but just add another hour. So make sure you're letting your bosses know you need that extra hour lunch break because we're going to be going until 2:00 instead of 1:00. So, and again, I want to say thank you to you guys, man. I appreciate the love and support sincerely. That wouldn't even be an idea of mine. That wouldn't even be an idea if the Daily Crow wasn't the success that it is to this point. So thank you all so much, man. I truly do appreciate it. Sincerely, truly do appreciate it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. Yeah, Keith, my brother, will definitely be ready to graduate. That's for sure. He's got a couple more weeks left. So let's see. Okay, I said Leatherwood. My bad. My bad, Greg. You know what I'm talking about. Up in Missouri. We're going to Missouri for his graduation, so definitely looking forward to it. Liam, commitment announcement will be this week. Supposed to be tomorrow. So we'll see. From everything we've heard, supposed to be tomorrow. Austin Wright, any news on Delp? No, nothing new. Nothing new on Delp. Like I said, he's going to Clemson's cookout, I think like the 26th or 27th. He's going to South Carolina's cookout the 31st. And I wouldn't expect him to make an announcement until like mid to late August. But I think it's going to come down to South Carolina or Georgia. I think it'll come down to those two schools, but I would not expect an announcement until sometime in August. So, Jay, yeah, Julian Bosnick's still on the board as of right now. Yep, he is still on the board. We're in the 13th round, and he's still on the board. So, I think Julian Bosnick will come back. I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't. I just think Bos can – I think Bos can go much higher, personally. I mean, dude, he's a left-hander that throws 95 miles an hour. So, yeah. Andrew Baker, we did have a signing. Andrew Baker get drafted in the 11th round by the Phillies. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Big news, by the way, yesterday, though. Michael Braswell and Thaddeus Ector announcing they will come to school. So some big-time signees, both hitters, by the way. So that is great news. That is great news for Mark Kingston and this squad, for sure. Great news for us. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. Scott Flair. Let's see. Why is South Carolina basketball on probation while Clemson cheater assistant basketball coach is on FBI wiretap admitting they cheat and yet nothing from the sorry ass NCAA? Scott, I have no idea, man. That's the NCAA for you. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure how them folks in the upstate get away with what they get away with, but they do. So just keeps on keeping on. Keeps happening. Let's see. Again, guys, huge week this week. If you are in the city, I highly encourage you, come out tomorrow night. Tin Roof in the Vista. You know where I'm talking about. Tin Roof in the Vista off Senate Street. We will be live for the first edition. Again, this is going to be each and every single Wednesday night. Every Wednesday. It's a brand new part of your lineup. It is a brand new part of your daily Wednesday routine. 5 to 7. We'll be live at Tin Roof, talking Gamecocks, shooting the shit. We'll have giveaways. We'll have, I'm planning on, like I said, not for tomorrow, probably not for the next week, but we're going to have koozies, stickers, all that good stuff out there. We're going to have the occasional guests roll through. We're going to be taking your questions, your comments, your calls, everything else. 5 to 7, live from Tin Roof each and every single Wednesday. Also, for those who don't live in Columbia or don't want to make the trip or whatever it might be, for those who can't make it, we are going to be streaming it right here. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So tune in. Leave your questions, your comments. Like I said, those who are asking, is it going to be like the Daily Crow 2.0? Yes and no. It's going to be different, obviously, but, I do love just the Q&A and the interactiveness and, the questions and stuff like that. And, dude, you guys can imagine just how big of a thing this is going to be. Starting tomorrow, right now it is. But especially as we get in season and stuff like that, man, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So be sure to tune in 5 to 7 each and every single Wednesday night as we go live from Tin Roof. So Bad Brett says, I think the NIL is going to help keep baseball players from jumping to MLB so quick. Maybe so. Dude. I'll close with this too. I simply don't think the NIL stuff is going to have quite as big an impact on college sports as people think. I just look at it as my view as a small business owner. You have your favorite players on your teams and stuff like that. But again, I'm sitting back and waiting and seeing how things go. I think there's going to be bad deals cut on both sides of this thing, whether it be the small businesses, whether it be the players themselves, whatever it might be. I think it's best to kind of sit back, wait, watch, see what happens. But who knows? Maybe the NIL will sway some guys, whether they want to go to the draft or come back or whatever it might be. You never know. Maybe that's a good point. Maybe that's a good point. But again, guys, if you have not done so, by the way, check out the podcast that dropped yesterday, episode 470. I gave my predictions for the first 6 games of the Shane Beamer era. I got Carolina at 4-2 at the halfway point. We also talked recruiting and a great conversation with Phil Steele. Part 2 of my game-by-game season predictions, and I will finish out my season predictions. You guys will know my official predictions for the entirety of the 2021 season. That will drop on Thursday, and who knows? I might give a little bit of a sneak peek to it Wednesday night when we talk at Tin Roof. And hey, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, I might drop those early. I probably will drop those early for you guys as well. But again, hey, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you all so much for the love and support. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk